Hello, and welcome to the Monkey Dead Purge podcast. I'm here with Keith, who's fucking late.
Well,
Really late.
yeah. Well, a 4-hour journey took 10. So, 4-hour journey took 10 hours. Yeah, included a 5-hour wait for a fucking ferry. So, yes, it was. My wife managed in the queue. We were queuing right to get onto the ferry. My wife jumps out, orders pizza, gets back in. We moved 2 meters. That was my day today. Got back at 10 o'clock in the evening. So I've done a 10-hour journey, 30 minutes, and I'm ready to go live. That's pro. That is
Pro my ass, not prolapse. Before we start, I'd just like to remind our listeners and our watchers that please do not take any legal advice from this podcast, and always seek out a legal professional. Thank you very much. Do something. My brain's up. Do something different, Gareth. It's like, legal disclaimer.
yeah. It's one of those weeks. So what are we talking about this week then, young sir?
Young. I think. I'm younger than you. MGM's pluses from which returned back in July, but I've only just finished watching the entire series. Sorry, July in the UK. It was February, I think, in the US. Hijack, which I've caught up on, and Foundation. I want to talk about Lee Pace's arse.
Yep.
All the disturbing things I saw on TV. Lee Pace's arse. It's a very nice arse. He's worked on that arse. I will give him that. He's put some work into that arse, and I can appreciate a man putting in effort, but I don't want to see that on my TV. Sorry.
He's a fucking tall bugger, isn't he, Lee Pace? As well, he's tall.
So should we just go straight into Foundation? Let's go straight into Foundation. Come on.
Yeah.
You can tell me about some things. I can tell you that I started watching it, and then I can tell you where I stopped.
I've quite enjoyed season 2 so far. I think the 3rd episode was probably the best. You get what's his face? Who played Gene Hunt?
Oh, yeah, I know Philip Glenster.
Yeah, Philip Glenster turns up as a wonderful character. He plays like the governor of this planet, right? Which is actually quite a significant planet in the Foundation thing. But he puts a comical twist, and he is kind of, there's some inner DCI Gene Hunt there, but there's other things there as well, right? But he basically condemns somebody to death by Titan's prick. And Titan's prick, right? It's fucking epic, dude. Titan's prick. Give him the prick. They're all screaming. It's quite funny. So you get like fucking chained to a piece of wood. And you have to wear this yellow t-shirt. It's got a fucking target over the heart. And there's just big metal spikes that just go straight into you. But it's torn. They call it Titan's prick. And I wonder how many scenes that Philip Glenster had to film when he was death by prick.
He's a professional. He would have done it fine.
Oh, it was genius. So you had that. You have Hobo Mallow, who is a con man and was well cast. You've got the guy from Goodness Gracious Me, the not so successful guy, who's playing a kind of fake priest from the Foundation, who I'm kind of enjoying. As much as I hate to say this, the fat not Hobbit girl from Lord of the Rings, who is actually quite good in this. So the story's centered on that, and of course it did come back to Gale, Salvor, and Harry's hologram. But the ending was kind of interesting. You're like, what the fuck? How the fuck? What the fuck? Because Harry is now human. And that's how it ends. And you don't know how or why. But Harry has a body, and he's a human again.
Okay.
So that was interesting.
So that's what you saw. I watched the first episode, and Yeah. So I'm watching it. Everything's going down, and it cuts to a scene, and I can't remember the character's name. It's Lee Pace. Right, Lee Pace is shagging the android.
He's Day. He's Empire.
Day.
He's Empire, but he is Day.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
he's shagging the android.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's shagging the android, and he's making her speak weird, which I find slightly disturbing. And then he gets attacked. And then, while he gets attacked, he uses her by throwing her into... So really, really kind of like lifts her up so he gets half her head chopped off, and then throws her against one of the assassins. Also while stark bollock naked. Now, I said to Keith before we started, back in the 80s, this would be described as tasteful nudity. And it was tasteful nudity, but... kind of off-putting in science fiction.
Well, Stallone did it in Demolition Man.
Yeah, but that was different. It's like I've just woken up out of bed. Yeah, it's like kind of. It's just anyway. I get why they did it because there's some dramatics and this, that, and the other, and I imagine that What's His Mush, Lee Pace was probably up for doing it. Because fuck it, sounds like a good laugh. So he did that. He got stabbed and poisoned and this, that, and the other, and it felt really Dune-esque. Felt really Dune-esque.
Yeah.
So it felt like, with the weird drone thing that came in, and then pretty much every time if Harkonnens ever met the bloody, I can't remember the other ones, but it felt really like Dune-esque. Anyway, watch that. Okay, fair enough. And then it cuts to the AI Harry, and it's the guy in like a hall of mirrors, and he's freaking out and stuff. And I'm gonna be honest with you. It kind of went on a bit too long. I got the idea. You've overstayed your welcome storyline wise. Do you think you need to move on? And then it cut to Gail Dornick. Was it Gail Dornick?
Yeah.
I can't fucking stand
it.
And that's what I was like. And I was like, nah. I like Salva. Salva's fine. Gail is just, she looks like she doesn't know what she's fucking doing as an actress. Yeah.
She is a bit of an annoying character, and she is probably the weakest link in all of it. But it's flying around a bit more in season 2. So we've now got like some interesting Foundation characters. It's interesting what the Foundation is becoming, or has become. Arguably, they're not the good guys, and that's interesting. It's kind of half good sci-fi. I understand why you find the actress annoying. I get it. I find her character annoying, but that might be the actress. I don't think she's the best cast person, and her South African accent keeps coming through more so than it did in season 2. But I love Jared What's His Face as Harry Seldon. And I'm sort of suitably sort of pulled in now watching that third episode and what's going on there. So I'm kind of enjoying it. The second episode is better than the first, and the third episode is even better. Some shit goes down in the second episode that's quite interesting. And you don't know what's going on with the second crisis, really. We're still not entirely sure what the second crisis is. We think it's Empire attacking the Foundation, but third episode we've got this general dude that turns up with his husband. Yeah, they got that in there, but it's kind of okay. But I'm semi enjoying it. It's not the best thing on TV, but it's watchable, and it's about the only bloody thing at the moment. I mean, don't even get me started on Secret fucking Invasion.
Oh.
Yes, they've now created somebody that is technically more powerful than Superman, because it has all the Avengers' powers, including Carol Danvers.
Now,
she's got all of it.
Now, there is supposed to be a Super Skrull who's supposed to have those sort of powers and the ability to absorb them and whatnot and copy them. But
she's got them all at once.
Oh.
And it's Khaleesi. What's her face? Oh, it was terrible. I mean, it's just, what the fuck? Look, Disney, crash and burn. You deserve it with putting shit out like that. You've tarnished the MCU beyond belief. You know, I keep saying it. You made the mistake. Feige's got too arrogant. He made the mistake with Endgame, and from Endgame onwards, it's just been shit, with 2 exceptions: Spider-Man 3, and I'll give you it, Guardians 3, which I actually quite enjoyed.
They're the ones that he had the least involvement in. Sony had pretty much carte blanche with Spider-Man, and and James Gunn was pretty much left alone for Guardians 3.
So, I mean, you know, Foundation's been good to watch because it's one of 3 things that are on at the moment that are even remotely worth watching. That we're getting on a weekly basis. So, it's not good at the moment. I mean, everything I'm watching is pretty much on Apple TV. I'm watching old shit on Netflix, because I haven't got anything fucking better to do or watch.
Oh dear.
There is something that's just started that I've downloaded but haven't watched yet, which is Zoe Saldana in some kind of special ops thing. It's got Morgan Freeman in it. I thought, okay, well, it's got a cast. Might as well watch the first couple of episodes, see if it's shit or not. And I can't even remember what it's called, but I have downloaded that to start watching. I'll see if I can find it because I can't remember what it was.
Okay, so because what was it? I watched MGM Plus's From season 2. Really, I really liked the first season. It set up a good mystery. Felt like it was. Oh crikey! We're getting to that. We will get. Hang on a second. We're getting to that. I didn't watch it, but we're getting.
Have you seen it, Biffa? Have you seen the trailer to it? Because I don't think it's released yet, or have you somehow managed to watch it early? How have you seen that? Because it's next week's episode that's coming on Thursday. There's the Lower Decks one that they've released already, which is. But anyway, go on. You were saying about From. Did it go in the direction you think it was going in? Because you had a prediction at the end of season 1.
They're all being kept there by something else, and the things that were feeding on them were just other animals that were in the cage with them. I haven't had anything to disprove it. Maybe something supernatural rather than like kind of alien or anything like that. So I do think it's maybe the case that they're being kept there just so they can be food for something else. There were some bits in it because it was really annoying because they found this lighthouse at the end and they're like, oh, what's this lighthouse? Yeah, you have to wait to the end of the season for them to get back to the bloody lighthouse, which felt really lost, which really kind of narked me ever so slightly. But yeah, the things like the house collapses. They got a bus full of people turn up at the town, and just all goes to all tits up. And one of them was like kind of this new person who came in. This kind of who's like supposed to be the arsehole, but he was making some points. And if they would have just dealt with him properly, it would have been fine, because you got like the colony house place, and if you got anything in a colony house, anyone else is allowed to take whatever your shit is, so you don't really get to keep your shit. It's very communist, shall we say. But this guy couldn't. No, you're not touching my shit. I'll beat the crap out of you. And he beat the crap out of someone, got kicked out, which is fine. Okay, they got their rules. I don't agree with them. I wouldn't live there. I'd go and live in the town with the sheriff because he's cooler. But anyway, he managed to find the lighthouse and then goes down a tree because something's going on, and he gets transported into a hole in a dungeon somewhere. And there's a guy in a dungeon talking to him, and he manages somehow to get up with a rope, which is still, if you watch, you'll go, but how? Yeah, so he manages to climb up this hole with the rope, sees this guy's chained to the wall, says to him, goes, oh, can you kill me, blah blah blah. And he's like, no, we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna rescue you. If you're gonna die, you know, it's kind of, I want to have you die whilst we're trying to escape, rather than just die of malnutrition and whatnot. So he does that, and this little musical box appears, starts playing. The guy starts shitting himself, yeah. Anyway, undoes one of his arms, and he turns around and he goes, I'm not going to make it, and he cuts him on the arm, and goes, my blood is now your blood, and gives him his blood. And the sheriff Boyd gets all this weird wormy shit under his arm. He's like, oh my god. So then he starts going crazy, starts seeing things, this, that and the other. And then later on, they get further through the episode, and he's got the blood, and he needs to give a transfusion to his son because she's been injured, and he's the only one who's got the magic blood, blah, blah, blah. But he's got the shit in his blood. So what he decides is he decides to infect one of the monsters that keep attacking them. So he slashes the thing's throat, and then he just sticks his wound into his throat wound, and he just goes, my blood is your blood, like that. The thing laughs, and all of a sudden it just keels over and dies, reveals its true face, and then things start happening. Other shit starts happening. It's like kind of there's clearly more forces at play here, and they do an autopsy on the creature to try and figure out what it is. And it's like kind of things like dry. Yeah, it's literally dry like a fucking sponge. Apart from it's like its liver, where it's got bile in the liver. And does the liver do something? We don't know. Can we get coke bullets with it and all this other stuff? Yeah, we got the new people. They're coming in and they're having trouble. The guy whose wife was digging a hole, dug the hole, got to the bottom. The weird guy who's been a kid there for all his life leads them out to safety, and then the house collapses, so she can't get out to the house. So it leads him to this set of caves, and that's clearly where these things are living. They're living under the town in these caves. And then you've got so he leads him out, and they know something's up with him. He knows a lot more than he's letting on. The guy, the tech person who sold his company, who's desperate to solve it, he was trying and solve the mystery of the place. He kind of, what you call it, he then starts looking at the kid and figuring out all these drawings that he's made, and he keeps seeing these symbols. He keeps hallucinating these symbols, and he knows that something's not right. And he keeps seeing these symbols, and he goes, I want to know where these symbols are from. And he finds his book, and he finds that the kid knows the guy who wrote the book, and he turns around and said, yeah, the guy who had the book kept everyone calm, looked after everyone in the town, and then he starts seeing the symbols, and then things got really bad. So, oh, right, okay, cool. That's good. So things are going to get worse. Then you got the mum. After she comes out of the tunnel, after digging a big hole, she starts hallucinating, seeing these children. It's like desiccated, kind of corpse-like children. Yeah. And she comes to the conclusion that she needs to go to the lighthouse. They're being kept in the lighthouse. So she needs to go to the lighthouse and rescue them. And when she gets to the lighthouse, she gets to the top of the lighthouse, there's no one fucking there. Anyway, there's this little boy that people keep hallucinating. And he sees her, and he turns around and goes, sorry, it's the only way to get you out. And then pushes her out the window. Season looks like it ends. And it cuts, and she wakes up, and she's in a hospital bed. In the real world.
Oh.
So, yeah. And I have to wait season 3, hopefully.
It's got a season 3.
Good. It needs to have season 3. Not as good as the first one. I've skipped over a hell of a lot of stuff that happened, but it was entertaining. I wish that they kind of went down the whole Vecna dream problem thing with the blood and the little musical box thing, which happens later on to this season. So I kind of felt like they were going somewhere, and then they kind of pulled off and went in a different direction because of the popularity of Stranger Things, which they shouldn't have done. They should just stick your own story, man. You know, if you want to set up a bad guy like Vecna, then set up a bad guy like Vecna. Repair what you think's wrong with him, improve what you want to make on it, and then by the time you finish doing that, you've got an entirely new character. Definitely worth watch. Enjoyed it. I think I watched it in 2 sittings. So yeah,
I might have to watch that then, because as I said, I did watch season 1, and I forgot about season 2, but I will watch it because I ended up catching up on things like Resident Alien, which actually was really good. The second season.
It was the gender pay gap one that lost me, because I got to the gender pay gap one and I went, oh fuck this.
No, it came back again. It bounced back. And you've got George Takei playing an alien grey, the voice of an alien grey, and he does do the oh my, and it is quite funny. So yeah, there were moments in it. There were moments, but then there are moments in all of these things.
But this one was massively egregious because they're sitting there making out this is a big problem. If what happened to them, they're allowed to sue and get lots of money. So sue them and get lots of money. That should have been the story. That's how they left. They all became millionaires and left the town. Yeah, you could have write them out like that if you want, but it's just, it felt so crowbarred into the thingy. I was just like, oh,
It was.
for fuck's sake.
But I enjoyed the rest of season 2, and I'm looking forward to season 3. There was some good stuff in there, and the final couple of episodes were good. So yeah, I enjoyed Resident Alien for the most part, but I understand that there were bits that went, ugh. But I've watched all that, so I'll have to watch From. I'll catch up with that next.
From trust me, it's good. It's good to sit down and watch, especially when you get to watch the whole season in one hit. As I said, 2 sittings I did it in. It was good.
I need some good TV, because I'm going back and watching old shit just to have some good TV that I enjoyed. Like I watched all of Silicon Valley again. I'm watching Suits again at the moment because I kind of enjoy Suits. It's mindless crap, but I just enjoy watching it because there's just nothing on at the moment that's any good except like Hijack on a Wednesday and Foundation on a Friday. I'm watching Strange New Worlds, but it's shocking, really.
So we mentioned, right, Biffa said that have you watched the Star Trek musical episode? And it's like no, it's out next week. But there was the Lower Decks crossover, which whenever we talk about Star Trek Prodigy, I think of the Lower Decks.
Yeah, we see now. I mean, if they'd done a crossover with Prodigy, I would have been there for it, because Prodigy is kind of a spiritual and successor to Voyager, and has it had Chakotay in it for a little bit. Janeway's in it, and actually, Prodigy is pretty damn good. Prodigy was the more hopeful side. It's very kiddie in places, and some of the characters are pretty kiddie characters. But I wish they'd cancelled Lower Decks and not Prodigy, because Prodigy at least had the heart of Star Trek. It did have the heart of Star Trek, and there was some really good stuff in there, and there was some proper nerdy fucking link backs to Voyager in there. And if you were a Voyager fan, there was enough little Easter eggs and stuff hidden in there that was pretty good. But Lower Decks, no. So they released the Lower Decks episode early. So we actually got 2 episodes last week. I haven't seen the other one because I was on holiday. So I haven't seen the Klingon one yet. And apparently Klingorks turn up at the beginning of it in a flashback, and they still haven't explained that. I heard that. But the Lower Decks episode, if you like Lower Decks, you're probably going to like this, but the problem is, right, you get the characters who have some dialogue that's really bad, but Strange New Worlds is that the dialogue is better than Discovery, and that it's more Star Trek-like in most places than, say, Discovery is. The problem is Lower Decks is just modern, millennial speak. So you get like all the Strange New World characters that speak normally, and then you get this character, the black female character who comes through the thing and says Spock is hot, and just talking like a 21st century millennial. And it there were moments that were kind of good, but again, why do you do a crossover with a cartoon? And then there was like things that just didn't make any sense. Like number 1 is still on the Star Trek recruitment poster 150 years later, or however far Lower Deck is in the future. She's still the recruitment poster, and for Starfleet, it makes no sense. And she was recently put on trial. She is a thing. They're not going to put her on a fucking recruitment poster based upon your thing. It's just silly things that make no sense.
And the other thing too is they don't print recruitment posters in the future. They have holograms.
Oh, it's terrible. You see, the thing is, I love Anson Mount's Christopher Pike. I genuinely do. And because they just have no idea how to write Spock, right? It's a shame, because actually Ethan Peck could be a pretty bloody good Spock, given the opportunity to. You have these characters, and you just don't know what to do with them. You don't know how to write them. You don't know how to have them together. The writers do not know how to write Star Trek, and that's the problem. And you know, next week we've got the fun and games of a musical episode. That's right, Steve. We're getting a full-blown Star Trek Strange New Worlds musical episode. You know, all these people that argued with me when I said, having seen Picard season 3, do you think you're still going to like Strange New Worlds? Oh, it's brilliant. I defy you to say that this season's been good, because it's been all over the place. You know, and the best characters they've got, right? Tragically underused. Now, apparently Anson Mount had like paternity leave. Why the fuck did you schedule filming during that? You know, he is like your strongest character. You know, where the fuck, again, Rebecca Romaine, where is she other than like comical relief and filler? Right? One episode. And that was a bit rubbish.
It should do with the original series. It should be around number 1, Pike and Spock.
Yeah.
Everyone else kind of supports them. That should be the three main characters that should be around. And that's annoying because they seem to focus on Spock, but you made me watch that episode. I hate you for making me watch that episode.
You're lucky I didn't make you watch the Lower Decks crossover episode. You would have hated me even more. And then we've got the trailer. Yeah, Steve, go and check out the trailer. It's a full-blown, you know, on the bridge of the freaking Enterprise. It's just like...
Why, Keith? Why?
Because apparently, I mean, it's not like they're doing anything new. Everybody's done a musical episode. Why do we need a musical episode of Star Trek?
I mean, Buffy did one.
Yeah, can you, like, please, Star Trek people, Paramount, make one fucking show for Star Trek fans. Make your millennial shows. Make your bloody Discovery spin-off for all those idiots, right? Because, yeah, that's going to make money. Could you just make one Star Trek show for the Star Trek fans? You know, and this was meant to be it, but it's not. It's just been all over the place. And again, having had Picard season 3 and knowing what we could have, this has been terrible. And it's annoying because, again, like Anson Mount, this show could be good. This show, had it been given, like, again, to what's his face, could be good. Because Anson Mount is extremely charismatic, as is Rebecca Romaine. Ethan Peck, given a chance to play a proper version of Spock, actually could be pretty fucking good.
Talking about tragedies and waste, did you hear about Manny Koto?
Remind me.
He pretty much was the showrunner for the last 2 seasons of Enterprise. Also on Dexter. He died, which is annoying because he would have been a good showrunner for Star Trek. I think it's like liver problems or whatnot. Yeah.
The thing I'm frustrated by the show more than anything else, the choices they've made. Like, the bridges are pretty cool, but like the stupidly large quarters that Pike has, all the huge rooms all over the place. It's ridiculous, and I would be surprised if this gets a season 3, despite there being contracts for it. I'll be surprised if it happens. I think the writer's strike is going to put the nail in the coffin here.
Well, the thing with the writer's strike at the moment is if it hits 1st of August, then they can start. Then they can start going, you know what, guys, don't want you. They can legitimately say that and get rid of people, which I think, I'll be honest with you, I'm really for. I think these people are crap, and yeah.
But, I mean, you got Amazon Studios reportedly putting pressure on to, bring a Star Trek series, because again, Picard season 3 was one of in the top 10 for Amazon Prime. Right? Now, you're not going to tell me Strange New Worlds is getting those kind of numbers. You're not. It's not, because it's on Paramount Plus in the UK. Which, how many people do we know that subscribe to Paramount Plus? Do you know anyone? I don't.
No one has done it intentionally. How about that? Because you can accidentally do it.
So, I mean, and we all know how I'm seeing it. So that doesn't count to your viewing figures. So how the fuck are you going to get the numbers that Picard season 3 got? Okay, Steve Knowles is but you're in the US, aren't you, Steve? So you're one of the 44. What was it?
44 people watching it.
440,000 subs or something. But the Paramount Plus launched in the UK because before they had some other kind of channel where they were airing Discovery for free because no one wanted to buy it and air it in the UK. Oh, you are in the UK. Sorry, I apologise, Steve. So that one. Okay, there you go. Steve is a UK Paramount Plus subscriber. Well, you're the only person I know.
Hang on a second. I have to ask the question. Did you accidentally subscribe to it on your Prime TV?
No, you probably intentionally.
There's only one person I know who had it, and they accidentally actually saying that Tulsa King's on there. Tulsa King's on there.
But you know, I probably would have subscribed if I was in the UK pre-season 2 of Strange New Worlds just to watch it, and not have to, you know, sell the 7 Seas for it. But having seen it, I don't think it's not getting the ratings that Picard season 3 got. I mean, Picard season 3 was in the Nielsen top 10 for fuck's sake, and this isn't. It isn't. And now they're doing a musical episode. Again, where's Erica been this entire season? Again, one episode that's really featured Erica. Again, an interesting character that you just don't. You're not doing anything with these characters. You're just not doing anything with them. You know, what was the whole crossover episode? Was there any character development across any of that episode? No. You know, the only thing we got was, you know, they not let slip that Picard, you know, the only thing is that Pike told them he knows what happens to him, which is, again, really annoying. Why can't they just put this in a different timeline and therefore not have the death of Pike hanging over us? I'd accept it if it was in a different timeline as well. Just having that Pike character, you're late, Keith. Was it? You're late. Keith was a whole hour late. Yeah, I was a whole hour late. I spent 5 hours trying to get on a ferry. Fun and games.
Because so fat, they were figuring out how to rebalance the ferry. They were looking at it and going, Christ almighty. Because look at that fat fuck. We've got to rebalance. It's like kind of like they were thinking back to the time they had to transport the dead body of a killer whale from the beach somewhere before it exploded and became...
I'll have you know it is a public holiday here. And we got it wrong because it's a public holiday until Thursday. Everyone goes back. So we thought people would be staying there and not leaving today. And it turns out that they all decided to go home, even though they've got another 3 days public holiday. So there was something in the region of 50,000 people trying to get on 4 very small car ferries. And so it was queued. Well, there was about 7K kilometers of queuing to just get to the port. Then you had to queue in the port as well. And then the ferry decided to stop in the middle of the freaking ocean for 10 minutes because it was waiting for another one to pull out the berth. So that was fun. We left at 11:30. We got to the main line at 5. It was a 4-hour drive from there. So
anyway, yeah. I'm sure the viewers are fascinated to hear about your traffic issues.
But going back, I don't know. And of course, you've got another Gorn episode, which is the final episode. Spoilers. So the musical episode is episode number 9, and then we've got the Gorn episode that finishes off the season. I don't think we're going to see a season 3. I think, you know, the fact is that they can't make anything, and I think people are going to drop Paramount Plus. And as soon as that happens, they're not going to have the subs. How do you get the subs back? You make Star Trek Legacy. That's the show that you make. But you're not going to tell me that Strange New Worlds has that much larger following. Discovery definitely doesn't. It's cancelled. No word, obviously, on the Academy series. I don't think we're going to see that. I think we might see the Michelle Yeoh film. But I don't think we're going to see the Academy series. I personally think they're going to go ahead with possibly carry on because of the contracts with the animation and everything. Lower Decks will probably get a season 5, but that'll be it. I think we're going to get Legacy, and that's it, because Legacy Paramount will pay for. Paramount will be able to subsidize with Amazon's pay because Amazon will take it because it was one of their top shows. But or we just won't get any Star Trek, and Paramount will sell it to Apple. Apple will pay for it.
Disney are planning to be sold to Apple. I think Amazon.
I can see it happening. I can see it. I at least sending off Pixar. I can see them selling off things. Don't think anybody will buy Marvel at the moment. I don't think, but I can see them selling off Pixar. Apple will buy Pixar in a second. I mean, Apple have got that connection to it, so I can see it happening, and I can see them buying Star Trek. They've already said they'd have Star Trek. It's well known that they're out for all the sci-fi that they can get. I mean, you know, you've got there is no way, as I said, there's no way Strange New Worlds is getting the same ratings as Picard season 3 got. Just I know you're laughing, but I think they'll make that.
He's quite right too. He's quite right.
I'm laughing at it, but I think they will make that. I think that will be the thing that gets made. I don't think we'll get the Academy series. Discovery's going to pan. I mean, the trailer's already been ratioed. I mean, it's just the clip. It's just awful.
What was the clip?
Oh, she's doing something on a ship, and she's attached to the outside of the ship while it's at warp. Yeah, and then she jumps off the ship whilst it's at warp, comes out of the warp bubble, and nothing happens to her. It's like, hello, science.
I don't want to. It's been well established that lots of people die when that happens, even in the JJ.
She's doing like the fucking hero thing, like hanging onto the ship while it's at warp.
No, I mean, you can hang onto the ship while it's at warp, but it's when the moment you fall outside the bubble, you're fucked. Yeah, because it generates the bubble, and the bubble is the bit that moves through space. Ship technically stays still. It's such a nerd. Sorry.
No, but you're right. It's terrible. But I don't. Look, if you want to watch Discovery, you're cool with that. I think if Star Trek's going to be saved, it'll be the Legacy series that saves it. That's all I can say. Anyway, we should talk about Hijack before we, because Hijack's getting interesting because we've got, I think, 2 episodes left or 1 episode left.
I think
2.
2. Yeah, 2. I think. Yeah, I can't remember where we are, but yeah, all right. Yeah, so I caught up with it, and it's obvious that they were, as I said, the chance of a Welsh hijacker, female Welsh hijacker is very remote. So naturally, something was getting there. Someone was pulling some strings. But the thing is, I don't even think that I think it's Idris Elba. I want it to be Idris Elba, the one pulling the strings behind the scenes. He's the one who's arranged this for the guy to break out because he's good at crisis intervention and takeovers and this, that, and the other. And there may be something else afoot while it's happening. So I don't know. So I think where are we? We've just gone past Romania. They're coming up over France, I think. And they're approaching the British mainland, and I think
the ending was rather explosive because, I mean, you know, the crowd reacted and finally realised that there's only 4 of them. We don't know how many. Well, no, yeah, 3, 4 of them still alive, right? Why you can't knock that girl out, I don't know, because I find her so irritating. The female hijacker, she's just that. What. I haven't understood why they haven't fought them. And how they, why didn't they all just pile on them? As soon as he was on the ground, where are the other passengers? Just jump on him. One of you pick up the gun, shoot the other fucker.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the bit. Why are you not all over them?
So it's there's still like. There's the son's in Idris Elba's house. I can't remember the character's name. He's just gonna be called Idris Elba, because it's easier. It's in Idris Elba's house, and he is being the bad guys are in the house too, because they want to try and keep things under control, and they've realised they've been given the wrong address, but they're supposed to get his wife's address. So you got that going on. You got the copper chasing down the criminal, which they released. I always have the reaction in a situation like that is if Hijacker's town goes, I'll release these people, just shoot them dead there and then. They've been released. Oh, sorry, we didn't quite understand. Give the plane back, or figure out someone that you care about, because we can do the same. The difference is we've got like kind of like really cool shit and planes and armies and stuff, and you've just got a plane. So land the fucking plane and get the fuck off. That's why I'm not in charge of hijack and hostage negotiation. And that's why you don't follow me for legal advice. But they shot the pilot. He got shot. So,
but he got shot by this woman that then locks the door and started flying the plane.
The third party hijacker.
Yeah. Now, who is she? Is she part of this, or is she something else?
She's contingency.
That's what I think. Yeah,
I think they set it all up, and if it went wrong, it's weird because it's literally she comes across like, look, this is almost little old lady material, borderline, but it's like she managed to shoot the pilot, take the control of the plane. So clearly, there's something else going on there, and the question is it the guy who the police are chasing down, the criminal fellow, the bald one that they released from prison? Is it another party doing it? Is there something, another game being played there? And this is why I think Idris Elba's behind the whole thing. He wants to come out, make himself look like a hero, blah blah blah. He's probably figured out some way of getting a lot of cash out of it. Oh no, we've already figured out how he's getting cash out of it. He's gonna, because they've set that up, yeah. Make him, because if he is the bad guy and he's playing criminal mastermind, yeah, he's bet against the company for the hijacking, and he's bet against the insurance company for the hijacking because the guy, the journalist was told that by the MP in the pub. Yeah. Yeah.
Is he an MP? I think he's 6. He's a spook. He's a fucking spook. The way that he took over the pub, and there's always been rumoured that the MI6 run a couple of pubs in London. It's rumoured, and that was very spooky. Like, he was a spook. So yeah, what's that connection? Because that hasn't been adequately explained, right? All the fucking crews in Dubai that did all the wiping up, why did they do that? Why did they do that? That hasn't been adequately explained. Are they connected to the organised crime unit? Who are these two organised crime guys? They obviously escaped, pulled a nice switch. So, yeah, there's still a lot going on there. You're right. There is somebody behind this pulling the strings. If it's Idris Elba, that's a cool twist.
I want it to be Idris Elba because that is much more interesting, because then you can get season 2 and figure out what the fuck he was up to, blah, blah, or you can just leave it with, like, questions and stuff. But, yeah, he makes the money from betting against the airline company and their insurers. Yeah, it comes out because he helped stop the hijack. No one's going to look at him because he's a bloody national hero. Yeah, this is retirement fund. He's just because his wife is very. She said that he was a manipulative bastard. Yeah, so they've hinted at it. So it's not like it's in a vacuum. Yeah, and it's like there were bits where people were going to go for the hijackers earlier, and he should have said, "We need to do it all at the same time." Yeah, if you're going to do it, you have to hit them simultaneously. Boom. Take him out. So
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think we've got 2 episodes left because I think it's still over an hour before it lands.
Hang on a second. It's been delayed.
But I'm enjoying it. I thought it was. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see the third party coming, and it's gonna. How is it gonna start? Are they going to sort of overpower the hijackers? Because they're not going to be able to control the plane. They're not going to be able to talk to the ground. Because she looks like she knows what she's fucking doing. So, who is she? What's her connection? What's going to happen to the other hijackers? Personally,
it's the last episode next week.
Is it the last episode?
Yeah.
Right.
I thought it was called Belt and Braces. It's called Brace. So.
Okay.
So hopefully.
Well, we're going to find out next week then. So
Yes, we will find out next
they're
week.
going to tie it all up next week. Okay. And then there's going to be only Foundation new to watch. Oh dear, Hollywood. Oh dear.
Yeah, you've killed our podcast. Thank you very much. At least do a gaming podcast, which you can listen to now on the Monkey Nut Punch podcast feed on mmp.ninja. As me and Keith try and work out what the fuck to talk about because nothing's being made. Actually, no. What we can do is we can play a game and we can do ChatGPT and play ChatGPT and see if it can come up with better stories. Shall we do, right? Because Secret Invasion was so poor. Should we ask ChatGPT to write us a Secret Invasion story? Not a story.
It
treatment.
would be better than what this is. You know, they're all campaigning. This is the fucking thing, right? They're all out there protesting about the use of AI. You lot wrote this shit. How can you be proud of this? You know, you don't deserve money for that. No one deserves money for that. What was Samuel L. Jackson even doing, agreeing to sign in? Apparently that cost 200 million. What the fuck did they pay 200 million for? The location shooting? I mean, it was shot in the UK, so the tax bill was probably high. But seriously.
Okay, all right. So that's. I'm not joking. Let's ask it. So let me just switch some bits off for a moment because the prompt perfect will do. Actually, just have it. So it's default. That's how it says default. So regular. So the great. Sorry for the podcast listeners. So what we're going to do is we're going to go. Can you write me a TV for a TV treatment based on Marvel Comics Secret Invasions? Right, so can you write me a treatment based on Marvel Comics Secret Invasion? Let's see what it comes up with. Alright, it's going to be better. We know it's going to be better. This is why they're so scared of AI. Of course. Marvel's hidden more. Trust no one. Oh my god, this sounds really. So, alright, so.
already better.
It's first thing it's done is included the Avengers and the X-Men. Which Marvel won't do. It's beaten it already. Oh my god.
More episodes as well. They're probably 45 minutes as opposed to 35 minutes. Final episode, Secret Invasion, 33 minutes long. Disney, what the fuck? Wow. There you go.
Okay.
10 episode season. Wow. And it didn't even fucking hang around. I don't think we're the only ones to have asked it this.
Right. World is in relative peace. Avengers, X-Men, and other heroes have all been working harmoniously. But when Iron Man captures a mysterious assassin targeting a UN summit, the culprit morphs into Black Widow. The real Black Widow's location, and heroes are left shocked it is a doppelganger or something else insidious at play. That sounds much more fucking interesting there. Just that, the entire series. Nick Fury reveals the existence of Skrulls, extraterrestrial shapeshifters that can mimic anyone's appearance and memories. SHIELD helicarrier is attacked. They brought back the helicarrier, leading to the discovery of Skrull agent. Paranoia ensues. I can want to watch that. This is why they're scared of AI. Yeah. Have it right. Hang on a second. All right. So just right. So you can have it generate boobies. Okay. You have to use. It's called stable diffusion. And I'm sure there's some model that you can plug in there. I will send you a link, and you can have it generate you all the boobies that you want. And the funny thing is, sometimes you ask it to generate serious things, it will generate you accidental boobies. So this is so much more exciting.
Can you read the treatment to the final episode? Because, you know, I'm interested.
So it looks like the final episode is an epilogue, so 10's an epilogue. So the day is saved, but at great cost. Trust within the superhero community is fractured. Some heroes decide to take a step back, reeling from betrayal as Earth begins a healing process. Fury sets up a new division within S.H.I.E.L.D. to prevent future invasions. But the previous one was realizing they can't win divided, the superheroes form a united front, leading to a massive showdown with the Skrull Armada. Mid-battle, the heroes locate a doomsday device and race against time to disable it. It's even got ticking clock.
Yeah, but it is taking from the comic, whereas obviously this just this wasn't comic at all. This was people spending 5 episodes telling Nick Fury he's not cool, he can't do this anymore, he's old, and then the final episode he kisses his Skrull wife in Skrull form because diversity.
Right, so what I've done is I'm just gonna add in this, but throughout the season, Nick Fury is told that he is old and male and women rule. So it's just a fun. As I said, this is why they're so scared of AI. Oh, fine, crikey. Hang on a second. It is
Marvel matriarchy rising.
I didn't know an AI could have a sense of humour. Look, here's the funny. It's added Jessica Drew in there.
Amazing.
So, New World Order introduced a matriarchal structure with major cities like New York, Paris, and Tokyo with billboards of leading women heroes. Nick Fury returns from covert operation, but is dismissed from being outdated. Oh my god! Oh my god! Final stand. Epic showdown between the heroes and the Skrulls. Amidst the battle, Nick Fury and the Skrull Queen have a tense face-off, which is interrupted by Captain Marvel. That sounds like Endgame, where they all come together. Oh my god!
ChatGPT has a sense of humour.
I didn't realise it would. Yes, but even that, yeah,
sounds better.
That's more fucking interesting. Oh my god! See, I use this to help tidy up my programming because I am a messy script kiddie. Yeah. But, oh, this is brilliant. Oh, sorry. Yes. But oh my god, this is still much more interesting. I just love. Yeah, I love the fact that what's he call it? Where was it? The story ends with the reaffirmation and strength of leadership of women. However, while recognizing the importance of collaboration, irrespective of gender. That's the one bit that's completely unrealistic. If Disney would cut that bit out there. However, the world recognizes the importance of collaboration, irrespective of gender. They would never do that. Oh my god, I just love that amidst the battle, Nick Fury and the Skrull Queen have a tense face-off which is interrupted by Captain Marvel and Black Widow joining forces. I just... Oh, hang on a second. Don't read the comic. Oh, that's stupid. No, we...
No, he's right. The writer of Secret Invasion was told not to read the comic. It's true. He said it in an interview. And you can tell, because it was shit. There was nothing good about it. There was nothing, the whole Rhodey being a Skrull didn't make any sense. When did it happen? The only good thing about it was Olivia Colman, and she wasn't on screen enough. And then at the end, we have this super fucking godlike fucking Skrull that's never going to be defeated. But the thing is, right, the bad guy got the same fucking DNA, right, and he got stabbed. And what happened to what's his face? Didn't kick in and heal him, which it should have done. Look, it was terrible. It was badly written. There's just shitload of plot holes in it, and they've ended up with an even worse thing than the 5-year blip they couldn't explain across multiple fucking TV and movie episodes and deal with that well. Why did they do that? Because it does not work narratively in a film-based fucking cinematic world. Whereas it can work in comic book, it can't work in the cinematic world because of the way you do movies. But now they've got this godlike fucking character that's got everybody's power, and she can use them all at once. It's not like she's limited. You know, she's got Captain Marvel's powers and all the others.
She's got the power of resting bitch face.
Yep. I mean, there were so many things. She's even got Groot stuff. Basically, everybody was at the battle in Endgame. She's got their powers.
On the bright side, no one watched it.
This is true. People. Yeah, it's been slated and good. The only thing that I'm slightly sad about is not seeing Nick Fury being cool again, and I did like Olivia Colman. She was lovely. She was brilliant. She was deliciously slightly sinister, slightly sadistic, very English. I liked her in it, and that's the thing. I like Olivia Colman. I always have. The only thing I've never liked her in, and I can't say I didn't like her because I've never watched her in it, was Fleabag, because I refused to watch that.
Oh no! I there's a woman online called Baggage Claim, and she did like a review of Fleabag, and what's the mush? Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character, and it's fucking horrible.
Yes.
When I heard what caused everything, if you want to watch Olivia Colman in something, you need to watch it in a series called The Peep Show with Robert Mitchell and David Webb. No, sorry, David Mitchell and Robert Webb.
Yeah, I have.
Which is fucking hilarious. There's the one where they go. The funniest one I think is the one where they somehow managed to kill Jez's girlfriend's dog, and then claim that they've bought it on as meat for their barbecue, and then they barbecue it and then serve it to them because it just goes out of control. That's the summary of what happens, but you just see it just fall out of control. It's brilliant. It's some of the best comedy I've seen. Anyway, this has been a really fucking dry one, and I think with the writer's strike coming up, it's going to be a dry one next week. So
we've got the final of Hijack. We've got the final of Hijack. I don't know if I will bring myself to watch the musical episode of Stranger Worlds. I just don't think I can sit through that. What else is there? There is a movie coming out. Is there a movie coming out? There was something.
Must be a movie coming out. Or otherwise I'm going to go see bloody Barbie.
You're going to go and see the Barbie movie?
No, I'm not going to see the Barbie one. I hate musicals, so no. It's that simple.
You've got to go and see Oppenheimer, but
I do need to see Oppenheimer. I'm trying to wrangle my mate Carl to go and watch it with me. If not, I'll go and watch it on my own. But yeah, I think we're going to have to. I think we talked a while back about talking about the Harry Potter films. Maybe we should do the Star Trek films. Yeah,
might have to do a retro.
The original Star Trek films until some things come back.
We might have to do a deep dive into that. I'm dying to see the Grand Tour Season 5, Episode 3. Is that the one that's already out? Because there's another one coming.
I don't know about that one.
There is another one coming.
We're going to struggle. Otherwise, we can ask ChatGPT to start writing our episodes for us, which might work.
Yeah, there's nothing. Oh, we get the Blue Beetle on August the 17th. That's going to be terrible. Well, no, you're right. It's going to be a quiet. There are a few things coming on streaming, and I'm not going to mention the one at the end of the month. Then I can't be accused of shoehorning something in because I've got an entire episode without mentioning it. Babster, you're paying attention. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Hang on a second. I just want to point something out. Babster at the moment is in a field somewhere near Birmingham being probed.
Is he drinking Bovril?
Probably.
He's from Birmingham. They always drink Bovril.
Probably think that. Anyway, just remind him that Amsterdam's better than Spectrums.
Yeah, Amstrad's
Oh,
better than
no.
Amstrad is better than Spectrum, and I bet you he's got at least a pot of Bovril in his kitchen.
Mm.
Deny it, and prove it.
Right, so I'm not sure about Teenage Mutant
Ah,
Ninja
he's right. Now, I saw the trailer and it looked a bit woke because what did they say? They made some question about getting rat-arsed or something, and Splinter took exception to that, and it was just like a really woke joke. But I don't know if it was tongue in cheek, taking the piss, or it was intentional. But there's been some really good reviews of it, but that doesn't mean anything. But there has been some good reviews of it, so I don't know. That's a good point. That it has had some good write-ups.
Right, do you know what? Next week we'll do Hijack and Star Trek the Motion Picture.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
All
do.
right, yeah.
I'm gonna sit down and make some notes. No, actually, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT if it can make me some notes.
I'll have to try and dig out the director's cut version of it.
Oh no, just watch the regular one for fuck's sake.
No,
I can watch the regular one.
Download it. I'll send it to you. I'll dig it out tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
Because
right,
it's a better version of it. You see Vija, and there's a few little nods in there. Yeah. All right. We'll try that.
Okay, because because there's lots of sexual imagery in that's not really spoke about.
This is also true. Yes. Okay. All righty. We might do that next week. All right. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I need to go to bed because I'm dead. R.I.P. Yeah, we'll come to Kirstie Alley because she was in the second one.
Oh yeah, she was in the second one. Yes.
Yeah, and then she was recast in the third one. But we'll come back to her and the fourth one.
Yes.
All
right.
We will come.
Anyway, next week, Star Trek Motion Picture. Their last season of Hijack. Maybe some bits about Foundation. Thank you very much. We'll catch you in the next one. Say goodbye, Keith.
Goodbye, Keith.